Hello, and welcome to the University System of New Hampshire Roundtable Series. I'm Clark Dumont. The University System of New Hampshire is the largest provider of post-secondary education in the Granite State, with approximately 32,000 enrolled students annually and more than 90,000 alumni living in state. System institutions include the University of New Hampshire, Plymouth State University, Keene State College, Granite State College, University of New Hampshire, Manchester, and UNH Franklin Pierce School of Law. The topic of this segment is finding success, choosing New Hampshire, and how to survive and thrive in your first year of college. So today, I'm pleased to introduce our student panelists, all of whom are New Hampshire natives. Brianna Lucier of Granite State College, Ethan Russell of Keene State College, Olivia Akocitis of Plymouth State University, and Jordan Christian of the University of New Hampshire. Thank you so much, all of you, for making time and joining us here today. I thought we'd take a moment, if we could, for each of you to tell us a little bit about yourself, what your study you're in, and what you're majoring in. So, Brianna, let's start with you.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm a senior at Granite State College. I'm currently in the middle of my capstone right now. I'm majoring in human services, and I am pursuing a minor in counseling foundations.
Great. Ethan, let's go to you.
Hi, my name is Ethan Russell. I am a freshman at Keene State College. I am actually getting ready to leave for an internship down in Alabama, and I am studying construction safety.
That's awesome. Olivia, welcome.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I am a current first year sophomore at Plymouth State University with a major in psychology with a minor in journalism, pursuing a hopeful doctoral in holistic medicine.
That's terrific. Congratulations. And Jordan, welcome.
Hi, I'm Jordan Christian. I am finishing up my freshman year at UNH, and my major is environmental science geosystems.
Well, that's just so superb. Welcome and congratulations to all of you, and for the journey that you're on, and for taking the time here today again to share your insights. So we have a series of questions, and the first question is, when you're choosing a college or university, it can be a daunting task. It's a big life decision, and it's obviously a major, major commitment. So what factors were most important to you when you were deciding on which colleges you would like to attend? And how did you ultimately decide on your college? Who'd like to go first? Brianna.
All right. So besides the obvious, the financial factor and financial value of colleges, the most important factor to me personally was the flexibility that the colleges allow. So I know for Granite State College, it typically caters to non-traditional students. You have the option of like blended online courses, or you could take courses at any of the 9 campuses that they have throughout the state, which is a great factor. And it also allows you to work full-time while also being enrolled full-time.
That's great. Jordan?
Yeah, for me, it was mainly like the location. Do you want it to be more of a city-like, or would you rather it be town? How would you like the size of the school to be, and like the environment? Because personally, I really like the old New England feel.
Thank you, Jordan. Ethan?
Yeah, so like Brianna said, I think that the whole like financial side of it is very important. Rather like pick the school that is better for you and is cheaper, rather than going to the school that's more expensive and like bigger atmosphere, because I think it's more important to have a smaller school. And that's why I chose a smaller school, because you get to know your professors easily, and like rather than being in like a huge school where there's a bunch of kids in your class.
Thanks, Ethan. Olivia, what have you found?
So mine is actually kind of opposite of Ethan. I went to a very small high school, and it was really important to be able to have kind of a transition into a moderately larger school than like say a community college, but slightly smaller than say UNH. It had a lot of, the activities that I really liked, a lot of the outdoorsy things with a lot of, and I knew I would have things in common with majority of the alumni. That was really important, really just atmosphere and who you're surrounding yourself with.
The environment, yes, exactly. And what fits and feels right for you. So Along those lines, what advice would you give to high school juniors and seniors or their parents who are trying to decide on a college? Jordan, can I go to you?
Yeah, of course you can. For me, the first thing was definitely tour the college and see how you feel standing on it. And especially when the students are there, so you can get a feel of the environment. For me, that was such a compelling factor. And I was able to check off a bunch of boxes of like, do I want to stay in state? And do I like UNH? Do I want to go out of state? So personally, that was so huge. And then think of where you're going to thrive. If you think that you're going to thrive in an area where there's a bunch of people and there's a bunch of people to talk to, or in an area where it's more, how you say, like there's a smaller population where you can like be really close knit with a bunch of people in the college, think of how that will impact you and if it's going to work.
That's great insight. Thank you. Brianna.
I think you really need to just look at what is the best decision for you and what meets your needs the best, instead of going off of like your friends' decisions or peer pressure that you may feel from other classmates in your high school.
Really is a pivot point, isn't it, in terms of where you are in your life. Olivia, what insights?
I would say a lot of the same. Definitely be open-minded. Don't listen to rumors about a certain school you're planning on attending. Don't listen to whether or not you'll be cool in high school if you go to a certain college. Most importantly, don't follow a group of friends to college. Definitely tour and be open-minded, and those friends, you'll still have them. You'll make it work if you're really good friends, and you'll make new friends. You really just, the environment is most important, because if the environment doesn't fit you, then chances are you're just not going to be as successful as you could be somewhere where you know your heart belongs. And, touring and being open-minded about that is definitely a really great start to a successful college career.
Awesome. And Ethan, what advice would you give to friends and others who are a couple of years behind where you are right now as a freshman at Keene State?
I agree with what everyone said. I think, don't follow what your friends are doing in high school, and really like look into what is best for you, and look into what majors they have and what majors you're interested in, and fit those majors with you and what you think would fit best for yourself.
Thank you all. That's just fabulous insights, and really appreciate it. So the next question we have today is, as you think about your first year of college, what challenges were the hardest or the most surprising? And what advice can you offer to other first year students? Who wants to go? Jordan.
So for me, one of the hardest things was adapting to an area where I'm not by my parents, because even though I'm close to home, like roughly 45 minutes, I'm still on my own, and I'm still learning about how to like grow up and like become an adult in an area that's unfamiliar to me. And just don't rush trying to adapt, because that's what I did. And at first I just hated it. And then when I finally accepted, like, I'm here, I'm present, this is how my life is going, and just learning to accept that made it so much better, because I was fighting it in my head, like, this isn't right, I should be home right now. Once you just finally get that through your head, it's so much better, and you learn to enjoy it.
Thank you. Life is a journey, isn't it?
Definitely.
Oh, Olivia.
I would say kind of finding your people. Going into my first year at Plymouth State, I had, I guess, a mindset that it would be super easy to become friends with everybody in your class and all of these things. And it was honestly a lot harder than I expected, especially like each semester you completely change your schedule and you meet new people, and not everybody's in the same major. You're all in different grades. So definitely like be expected to be disappointed with the social aspect of college is the best way I could put it. Just because, your friends in the moment doesn't mean that they're going to be lasting. It takes a lot of trial and error. And it takes a lot of disappointment, honestly. If I'm going to be true with myself, it was very disappointing with that. I'm not friends coming out of my first year. I'm not friends with even half of the people that I started my first year with. So it's definitely like an abrupt awakening. It's very different from high school. There's cliques, but a different type of clique. So I think just being patient and knowing, it's going to take time. Part of that is the adjustment from home, taking that time to readjust to a new environment, new people, new rules, new expectations, and overall adulting.
Adapting and agility, right? They're key. Ethan, what have you found?
So I think personally, I mean, I kind of knew this going in, but there's no one really there pushing you to do the work. It's all up to you. I mean, you're paying for the money to take the class, and you're there to push yourself and be like growing up. That's kind of how it is. There's no one there that's like really pushing you. It's you doing the work, and it's if you want it, then you'll do it. And everyone's in the same boat when you get to college. First day, everyone doesn't really know each other unless you have a friend from high school. So go to the dorm next to you, get to know the person in your hall, or however your dorm is set up, to really interact with everyone and see who your friends are. Because I promise you, if you do that, you're gonna find friends within the first day of college.
Hey, Ethan, I met my wife at freshman orientation. So spot on. Brianna?
Just kind of stemming off of what Olivia had talked about, I think a lot of people don't really talk about how isolating it can feel in your first year of college, and just how stressful and daunting everything can be. And as a way to get through that, I think a lot of people kind of bury themselves in their work. And I think it's really important to just, balance that workload and maintaining your own social life, just to work really hard to prevent burnout, because that first year is important to get you through the last 3.
It's about pacing. It's all about pacing. Excellent. So next question is, what do you like most about attending college in New Hampshire? Ethan?
I think it's awesome. I mean, I live in Keene and I go to Keene State, so I'm right there where my parents are. And I live at home. I mean, I spent my first semester on campus, but then I realized that, it really wasn't, the college life really wasn't for me. And I said, that's okay. And it's good that I had the opportunity to come home and still go to school and living at home. I think, also getting that in-state tuition is also nice. I like the New Hampshire life. So, staying here is nice. And when I'm on campus, I still feel like I'm not in Keene, which is good. So it's okay to, stay in New Hampshire. And I think it was the right choice for me to stay in New Hampshire and go to college in New Hampshire.
Thanks, Ethan. I started my career at Keene State as well, so good choice. Olivia?
I would say it's a really good adjustment period. So I grew up in New Hampshire. I've been here all 19 years of my life. But obviously living on your own is very different. And Keene State offers so many great Plymouth State offers so many great opportunities to kind of explore. We have clubs and sports and all these different types of things that you can kind of explore your own independence and your own personality. And it also gives me an opportunity to travel on breaks and stuff. I could go to Florida, I could go to Hawaii, I can go really anywhere without, being forced into it. So it's a really good, it was a very smooth transition from kind of growing up with the parents and then growing out into the world, and then, progressively getting more independent and being able to make those choices. Because I have enough freedom at, Plymouth State, but I can still, go home if I need to, which was really, really important. So I didn't panic and drop out and come back home anyway.
Well, and the natural beauty too of Plymouth State, and right in the mountains, and the gateway to the White Mountains, and Ethan being in the Monadnocks, and Jordan being over in the Seacoast area, and Brianna being in the central part of the state. Each state has its own distinct flavor, right? I mean, and so I'm sure that probably factors into. Is that also, Jordan, what you're liking most about attending college in New Hampshire?
Yeah, it was definitely a big factor, because when I was deciding on where to go, I was so adamant of being near a beach. I'm just such a beach body. I love being there. It makes me so happy. And with UNH, I'm able to go there anytime I want. So that's so, so important. But the main thing that caused me to stay in New Hampshire is if there's an emergency, I don't have to panic, because my parents are always there if I need them. My family is very close nearby. So I don't have to worry like as if I went to Florida and I don't have any family down there. I feel comforted knowing that if something were to happen, I'm safe and secure, if that makes any sense.
Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. And particularly in this environment that we've been in the last 28 months and all the ups and the downs and the roller coaster that we've been on, totally makes sense. Brianna, what about you?
Just to reiterate basically what everybody else is saying, just knowing that you have that social support system that you've grown up with, like your friends and family that you already feel comfortable with, is so important. And it's just one less thing that you have to adjust to. You know, your first year is stressful for many reasons. So it's just one thing that helps you get through it again.
Awesome. What about resources, right? It's a huge, we've talked about the transition, right? From being, high school and kind of you do this at this time, you do this. What resources have you found have been helpful to you in terms of making that transition into college life? Brianna.
Really just utilizing your advisor. They're there to help you. They're there to help you get through not only like your scheduling conflicts, but also like personal conflicts that you might be dealing with in school. And they're there at your disposal, for lack of a better word. So you should just really utilize them and learn to lean on them, get comfortable with them.
Ethan, can I come to you?
Can you just repeat the question real quick? Sorry.
The resources, what resources have you found have been helpful for you in terms of making the transition from, high school, secondary life to post-secondary?
Oh yeah. So living in Keene, I know people that work at the college, which has made it great. And that's actually kind of how I ended up with the internship that I have. And really, using your advisor, like Brianna said, that's important. And then because when you meet with your advisor and you talk to them, they talk to your professors as well. And they tell your professors about the kind of person you are. So, put a good word out for yourself, and then meet with your professors, talk to them after class, and like really get to know them personally, which is big because they, all the professors talk with each other as well. So, that's another way to put your name out there. And like getting my internship, I think putting my name out there in the beginning and like staying after class and talking with my professors and getting to know them and asking questions and showing that like I really care has really helped with my transition and like making me feel like, I'm welcomed where in my profession. So, yeah.
I think it was Aristotle who said, we're standing on the shoulders of giants, right? And so take advantage of all the knowledge that is accumulated with the environment that is an exciting part of the college and the university environment. Olivia, what about you in terms of the resources that have helped you?
So I would say it's a mix of what Ethan and Brianna both said about, getting to know your professors and your advisors. School gets a whole lot easier once you kind of have an understanding of your professor's mindset and how they teach. I found a few of my grades went up once I had a better understanding of that. But I'd have to say my biggest one was honestly my place of employment. I work for my Office of Community Impact through Plymouth State University as a community impact ambassador. And that has really helped me stay grounded both in routine. Like I like to go. I work hard. And I've gotten very close with my supervisors, and I've gotten a lot of other opportunities. They spread the word, because if you have that ambition, just don't hold back. I'd have to say like the resources you have to kind of find, there's the mental health resources, there's, the counseling, the advisor, but the rest of it kind of you have to do on your own. And I definitely found that through going into school. It was thanks to my internship that I had in high school that kind of transferred over and how I got the position. But really reaching out to places you can work on campus, things that you're good at that you don't have to work super hard at, is really helpful. And you really find a lot of great connections and great friends and supports, but also they'll be career long. And it's a really good jump start while you're, especially a first year. It's a great thing to put your name out there early so that, your senior year, you can come around and be like, hey, remember that work I did for you? I'd love to do that again for a senior project or some volunteer hours. It's really important to look at, the job opportunities on campus.
It's all scalable, isn't it? I mean, it all builds up. It's like, the game that you put the play in, everything builds up together. And when you put it together, it is like a puzzle. By the way, it was my other friend, Sir Isaac Newton, who said about standing on the shoulders of giants, not Aristotle. So just to correct that. Jordan, what resources have you found that have been helpful to you?
Yeah, for me, my biggest resource was probably talking to my peers because we're all going through the same thing, and joining clubs, because in clubs you have so many people that are different years. So if you're looking for advice, people who just went through that recently are the best people to talk to. And it seems easier said than done, but once you start like forming all like these friend groups and like with people of different ages, it's just so much easier to get help. And trust me when I say office hours are going to be your best friend. I don't like going, but it helps me so much when I'm struggling in work and I'm like, I can talk to my professor or talk to the TAs that are available, and I can get my problems situated and I can get a better understanding, because your professors are going to be your best friend, hopefully, for 4 months, 5 months at a time.
I'm reminded of the U.S. Olympic swimmer Rowdy Gaines, who observed, you're saying this, no deposit, no return, right? You get back, you get back the return on what you deposit. And so engaging, connecting really yields returns. Awesome. So what other tools and things that we should be thinking about in terms of transitioning from high school to college? What can students expect? Just because you graduate from high school, you're all ready to go to college, right? Is that how it works? Olivia, I don't think so, right? Okay.
I think it's definitely in high school. I'll speak for myself personally. Like in high school, I thought I could conquer the world. I really did. In the most humbling way, I really thought I had my life together. And then, you hit college and it's a whole new kind of idea. And your support system is so, so important. If you're a person like myself who doesn't have a strong foundation to go home to, who struggles with, family problems, and that can get exceptionally hard, and something I don't hear talked about enough. You hear your friends, even just, being in the environment where, you hear your friends saying, I'm going to go home for the weekend, mom's coming to parents' weekend, especially for those students who don't have that, or who struggle with accepting that, or just not wanting to tell people, but are dealing with it. I think that was probably one of the hardest things, one of the many hard things. But, when you don't, I feel like college, you start seeing those supports that you heard mom and dad say, hey, when you get older, you're going to thank me for this, or you're going to realize why I did this. And really it clicks. And it's great when you have resources, and please utilize those resources. But if you don't have those resources, it's even more important to reach out to your friends. I know a lot of my friends, their parents have kind of taken me in as one of their own, which is I'm incredibly lucky for. But I had to do that, and that's something we don't really talk about with the college. And something I want to emphasize on is, utilize your friends and your community around you that you have now to make those transitions a little bit easier.
Thank you for sharing those insights, Olivia, and think about resilience and things that test us, make us stronger, and we learn how to. Things are not as good as they seem to be, nor is they as bad as they seem to be too. Right, Ethan? What about that high school transition process, that journey?
Yeah. So the transition. I wasn't ready for the presentations that there were going to be, and that's not to scare anyone, because I was kind of nervous at first, but then I kind of got used to presenting, and it kind of feels good now to present, and it's a way to show my skills and what I know to the class and my peers. And then one day I was in my professor's office, and I was talking with him, and he's 23 and he's already graduated college, and he's a very smart man. He speaks 5 languages. And I asked him, I'm like, how do you do this? And he goes, because I do what I love. And that really meant a lot, because I was like, if I go home and I spend more time than I do in school with what I'm studying, then I'm going to know more, and I'm going to be ready for when I'm in class and the professor calls on me or ask me to do something. So I think that's also important, is really spend your extra time at home or in your dorm, studying your career that you want to do and your major. That was big. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say.
I think that was perfect, Ethan. Absolutely perfect. Brianna, what have you found in your transition? You're almost through, right?
I am. I'm at the home
Tremendous.
stretch and I'm ready.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Really, I think the biggest thing for me when I was still a high school senior was just utilizing the resources that they have available to you to help you get to college. I know I had some really great school counselors that were really on top of, letting you know if you qualified for a scholarship that you should apply to, or just keeping things posted, news. Just surround yourself with people who want to see you succeed and who are willing to help you get there, I think is the best piece of advice I can really give.
Thank you. That's awesome. Sage. Jordan. Oh, Ethan. Well, let me go to Jordan. I'll come back to Ethan. Jordan.
For me, I also thought I was on top of the world in high school. I would say, a little smarter than normal. So I never really learned how to study. And then I got here and I don't know how to study. I'm still trying to figure it out, but learning how to create schedules and like periods of time to delegate towards classes, especially with finals coming up, because it's a lot more severe than it was in high school. Once you figure it out, and I'm still learning it right now, but once it's happening, it's so much easier to go about things versus like, oh my God, I'm going to fail this test because I don't know how to study. I don't know what's on the test. Once you delegate the time, it makes things so much easier. And yeah, schedules. Let's get calendar app's my best friend right now.
Well, I started my career in broadcast journalism, so I'm used to the clock. The newscast has to go on at the top of the hour. There is no twisting on it. You got to get it done. Ethan, coming back to you, bud.
Yeah, so another resource I think is important is find friends in your major to, help study with, help like learn off of each other of different things that you're learning, and like, use them for finals. Like you guys can study together and use the library. I think that's a big one. Like I would always go there because it's hard for me to do work at home. So I would go in there like 6 hours a day for like when it's finals week, and I just lock in and do some work, and it's very nice to go in there. So utilize the quiet space of the library.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, we're ready for the speed round. If you're ready, in one or two words, what is the most important thing first-year college students should do or know when they arrive on campus? What is the most important thing first-year college students should do or know when they arrive on campus? One or two words. Jordan.
Go socialize. Trust me, it's totally worth it.
There you go. Olivia.
Take personal responsibility and pay attention in classes. That will help you with note taking.
Perfect. Brianna.
Honestly, just remember to breathe, because everybody that's there with you is in the exact same boat as you are.
Awesome. Ethan.
Use your resources.
There you go. Well, I want to tell you, I am so inspired by all of you. Congratulations on the journey that you're on. I appreciate very much the time that you have given and the insights that you have provided here today. Thank you again for joining us and for sharing your insights and advice to younger students who are about to begin their college journeys. And we honestly wish you all the very best in your journey, and taking advantage of these years in college to put the building blocks down and the foundation of your life and your career is just totally spot on. Think you for watching as well. For more information on the University System of New Hampshire, please visit usnh.edu/yours, YOURS, and we will have that URL on the screen. This has been a University of New Hampshire production. I am Clark Dumont, and I want to thank all of the students here who have provided their insights and their time today. Thank you.